What down, family? Welcome to the Project 345 Week 4 recap. I am Run JLC. Let's get to these Week 4 marathon training shenanigans. All right, so on this week, I had 47 miles on the schedule. I end up getting 48.62. I do a little extra work on the side with my homie Big Joe. He's training for a 5K, so me and him hit the track or the trail every so often as well too. I also took an extra trip with my wife and the girls, so that added a little bit to the mileage that I needed to get. But all that matters is the 47 miles was completed, and I'm happy about it. And so these workouts this week, it was actually a good week for the workouts. Tuesdays, I'll be on the track, and this past week I had 5x1K intervals, and I pretty much smashed them. I'm trying to stay between like 725, 735 on my average pace on those. I ended up hitting 715 as an average pace. I was feeling good, and it didn't feel like I was putting a lot of effort to hit those paces, and I just wanted to run. So I made it a little bit faster this week. Like I said, the effort was there where I wasn't like I was pushing it, if that makes sense. I didn't feel like I was trying to do too much on this one. I was going fast, but that's because my body allowed me to go fast. Now on Thursdays, my tempo days. Once again, my tempo days are AKA my marathon goal pace days as well too, which that pace is 8:35 to get to my 3:45 goal. But I try to keep my tempo paces between 8:30 and 8:35 just to be on the safe side. Give me a little leeway there. My average was 8:33 this week, so I was right on pace. And remember, I also bumped it up 3 extra miles on my tempo from 5 to 8 this week. So 8:33, I only had one of my miles that was too fast. I think I ran like an 8:27, 8:28, something like that. So this week was a good week. I was looking forward to this week as far as the workouts and this long run I'm about to talk about as well too. So my workouts, I'm happy about it. All right, so I had 15 on the schedule for the long run. I remember last week I said I haven't ran 15 miles in probably about 2 years, down to 3 years, and it went well. The temperature obliged with me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it was hot as hell in Northwest Indiana for most of the week. But I got out a little earlier. The temps was in like the mid to low 60s, so I was great on that. I took my hydration vest off there with me as well too. I had my gels. So I was prepared this week. I was prepared for a 15-mile long run, and everything went to plan. It ended up being about 10:19 average, and our negative split on that as well too. So I'm trying to get to the point where I'm practicing my hydration and my fueling strategy. I only had 2 gels with me. I would need more than 2 gels even if I'm running 15 miles. But everything went well so far as when I was taking my drills, when I was hydrating myself. I found out that they are serving noon during the marathon, so I ended up popping some noons in my hydration vest as well too, so I could practice taking that and just letting my stomach feel what hydration is gonna be available for me on that day. So long run was good. It was 15, and that's just one off from the highest long run, or the longest long run, I should say, that I'm gonna do in this program, which is 16 miles. I'm gonna do that a few times as well too. So I'm feeling good about that 15, feeling good about where I am so far in the training. All right, so how did my body and my mind respond to this past week? Pretty damn good, if I must say so myself. My physical response, man, I'm getting better, y'all. I am improving. Still have an issue with my low back and my leg, and part of it is just the fact that I feel like I'm used to what I'm feeling as far as the pain and the nerve pain and the soreness, so I'm able just to run through it. But I do feel like I am getting a little bit better as well too. And as far as this week goes mentally, like this was a big week for me, just to see where I am in training, and I damn near hit 50 miles on top of all of the hard work that I had to do within those 50. Big week for my confidence. So I'm feeling very good with where I am just, 4 weeks, now 5 weeks into the training, knowing that I have plenty more miles to go, plenty more workouts to hit, and it only gets more intense from here. But I'm confident with where I am, and I'm looking forward to taking on more as well. All right, so a quick look into next week. I'm gonna keep it at about 47 miles for this total mileage for the week. My track work Tuesday workout is gonna be 4x1200 meter intervals, and that'll be my last speed workout before we bump into strength workouts. And I'll probably get a little bit more into detail about that during next week's recap, the difference between the speed and the strength work. Keeping my tempo work at 8 miles, and my long run is actually going back down this week to 10 miles. So you can look at this week upcoming as more of a maintenance week before I ramp it up again. And I think I'm going to be hitting over 50 miles. So that's going to be a big week for me. I've never hit a 50-mile training week ever. So that's going to be a big week for me coming up. But right now, I like where I am. I like where I'm moving forward to. And we're just going to keep this thing rolling. Before I get up out of here, I just want to give y'all a little peek into the tools and training kit that I use to get me through marathon training, starting with my shoes. Now, before I bust these shoes out, remember I told y'all I haven't ran in a while, all right? So I haven't had the chance to really update my shoes like I wanted to. But before y'all get to talking that mess, remember this run thing is my art. So I'm an artist, and I'm sensitive about my shit. So watch what you say. But now I'm messing with y'all. My shoes, starting off with my New Balance Fresh Foam X880. These are my daily trainers. So anytime I'm putting in any easy miles, I'm usually rocking these boys right here. Now, when it comes to me being on the track, my Track Work Tuesday shoes, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see me in the Skechers Horizon Vanish. These boys is like super light, real flexible. I mean, for real super light. They like 4-5 ounces light. So when I'm on the track and I know I have to run fast, I'm usually in these boys. Now, when it comes to tempo work, I will rock these. Now, these are the Asics Hyperspeeds version 1. And a pair of shoes that I did forget, I do have the Saucony Endorphin Speed 1. And yes, I call it Saucony. That's what we used to say back in the day, Saucony. So the Saucony Endorphin Speed 1s. And I use those mainly because, once again, that's marathon pace. And I know I'm going to get some new racing shoes that's going to be more than likely carbon fiber plated. So I use those because they don't have the carbon fiber plate, but they do have a nylon plate. I use these because chances are I'm probably going to get a pair of Asics racing shoes as well too. So they're not going to be exactly these, but they Asics, so they just do a little something for my mentals. But those are the shoes that's getting me through my marathon training thus far. Now, before I run, and especially before workouts, I like to get my body primed. So I have a pre-workout routine. Now, I forgot to bring my massage gun, but I usually kick off everything with my massage gun. I'll hit the bottom of my feet, my calves, my quads, hamstrings, glutes, and low back area, just to get my muscles primed and ready for use. I also have my tennis ball here. So my tennis ball I use on the bottom of my feet, and just roll this over the bottom of my feet a little bit just to get my feet primed and ready to get moving. Now, mini band. I love the mini band. This shit burns, but I love it. I use this to get my hips primed, so I do a lot of lateral movements, a lot of multi-directional movements to get my hips, to get my, get my glutes and get my hip flexors ready to roll. And then I usually hit the jump rope a little bit as well too. Now that jump rope just gets my feet ready, gets my calves and ankles ready for almost like a plyometric movement. When you're running fast, you know that ground contact time is not gonna be very long. So hit the jump rope just gets my body primed for that. And that's my pre-run routine and tools. All right, so while I'm on the run, what am I using? As far as my watch, I got my good old Garmin 230. This thing is about 7-8 years old. I've had this for about 5 years now. And I see all the fancy Coros watches, the Polar watches. I see the Sunto watches and even the upgraded Garmin watches. I just can't bring myself to upgrading this thing yet. It ain't broke, so I ain't gotta fix it. It's my baby, and when it die out on me, it's gonna be a sad day, then I might upgrade to a new watch. But for right now, it's the Garmin 230. Now, on my easy days, I do have a chest strap that I use as well too. Now, I do this because I wanna keep my easy days easy, make sure I'm not exerting too much effort. When you doing high mileage training like this, I have to make sure when I'm running recovery runs, when I'm doing easy runs, that I'm not exerting too much effort, which is gonna allow me to recover from hard workouts and which is gonna allow me to be primed and ready for long runs that I have as well too. So I do have my chest strap as well. And I forgot to bring this as well too, but I also have my hydration vest. So my hydration vest, you saw me just use that for this past long run. I'm also gonna start using that on my tempo runs too, so I can get used to my hydration and my fueling strategies when I'm doing my tempo. But that's what I'm using when I'm on the run, besides the shoes I showed y'all earlier as well too. All right, hold up, I forgot about one. The GoPro. That's how y'all see me get my work in. Not every run, but damn near every run, I gotta have my GoPro with me. Otherwise, I ain't gonna be able to document this progress, because if I'm doing this on my phone, I'm gonna be all shaking like that, and that ain't cute. So my GoPro is a marathon training kit must for me. All right, I'm done with my run, so how am I recovering? Now, the majority of those tools are at home, because that's usually when I do my recovery at home. Now, I already talked about the massage gun, which I'll start that at a low pressure and hit those same areas I talked about: my calves, my quads, my hammies, and my glutes. Now, I'll back that up with the foam roller, which gives me a lot more deep pressure to those same areas. My lacrosse ball I use for rolling over my plantar fascia, and then I'll double down with the toe spacers on, the primal step toe spacers on as well too, while I'm doing that, just to make sure, because my feet are so cramped up in those shoes, and I'm able to space my toes out and just get a nice overall stretch on my feet and make sure my body is ready for the next run, which is usually the next day. So quick shout out to my wife for the last training tool in my marathon training kit, and this is my running journal. So this is important as well too, because I log every run. Like every run that I've run so far within this training cycle is in these pages. And it's important just to be able to look back. So after each long run, I look back at the week and I just go over the journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to relive the journey. Sometimes we so stuck in the now, especially if you have a disappointing day. We get so stuck in the now, and it's hard for us to look at the big picture. But once you have a good running journal, and it don't have to be anything fancy like this, you could just get a regular old notepad, some sticky notes, whatever you want to do. But this is important to make sure that you logging down what you're doing, so you can just go back and just relive the journey and just put everything into perspective that, man, I'm training for a marathon. I got through this marathon. I had to get through these bumps and bruises, these aches and pains. I had to navigate through this opposition, that opposition. And I can't wait to when I'm done with my marathon and really go back and look at these pages and just see the book that I made through marathon training. So thank you, baby. Appreciate it. All right, but that's it for this week. And if y'all still rocking with me through all that talking, man, that's love, and I really appreciate y'all. If it's your first time tapping in with me in this video series, I invite you to go check out the other 4 videos I did before this, so you can see what your boy been on up to this point. If you want to show me some love and some support, please do that down in the comment, man. I love to see it. It's motivating. It's good for my soul. It just keeps me moving. Also, if you want to show me some support, man, share this video. Share it in your stories. Share it on your page. Share however you want to. Show all your running buddies what your boy Run JLC been up to. But I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. I thank y'all for those that's tapped in with me. I'm out this week. Y'all be strong, be courageous, and be transformed. It's your boy JC of Renewed Mind and Fitness. Peace.